Communication Error.
Welcome to episode 74 of Communication Error, a gaming debate podcast where we may not always agree, but if we listen to what one another has to say, maybe we'll be able to fix our communication error. I'm one of your hosts, Cheesy, and the man who, yes, is still on this podcast, John Ebo. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I on the last podcast, I put a poll up on Spotify, which I do every week. People vote on the polls because I like it's fun. It's fun. But I put a poll up saying like how annoying is Johnny, and the two options were really annoying and extremely annoying. And I got 2 votes for really annoying and 1 vote for extremely annoying, so I wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of won out of those outcomes.
I definitely won.
Yeah. Also, I know you made a little face during the 74.
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
That's a reference to SpongeBob. So for all the SpongeBob fans
SpongeBob
out
memes
there,
are overrated.
they got it. No. SpongeBob is still good. SpongeBob is amazing. The writing is still good. No. Did you ever watch SpongeBob?
I did when I was a child.
Dude, it is so relatable today. Especially, you know what? No, if you were to go back and just listen to Squidward, that is, I think you would relate to Squidward. About like how
and nobody likes
doesn't...
him on the show, but he's probably the smartest one and probably the most down to earth one, the one that makes the most sense.
Well, I wouldn't say he's down to earth or the smartest, but he's probably the most relatable when it comes to work and like
work sucks. Like what would the nobody likes work.
No, I know, but there is a good quote that he has that's like SpongeBob is like, and what's better than serving up smiles? And Squidward says, being dead or anything else.
No, I don't think I don't want to die. I just don't want to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to work. If you want to work, that's weird.
There are people that love to work. They what is it? They live to work, not work to live.
No, I mean you're not supposed to. The phrase is you're not supposed to live to work.
No, but there are people who would disagree.
They miss the whole point of that quote is you're not supposed to live to work. You're not supposed to make your work your life. That's the whole point of that quote.
I agree with that. No, but I don't think there is like a correct way to say that.
That is the correct way. That is the correct way. That's the whole point of that saying.
We are starting off spicy.
You're just wrong.
How was your weekend?
It was good. We got 2 new foster kittens. We got them on Saturday, and this leads into our Zelda discussion. We decided to name the cats after the Triforce. So
okay.
There's Zelda, Link, and Ganon.
Okay. At first I thought you were going to say, yeah, their names are Courage, Power, and Wisdom.
No. And we call them the Triforce. And I don't know if this did come through on the audio. I know last week I said like we had a kitten meowing, and I heard her meow on the episode. So they're outside of the door. I could hear them meowing. I don't know if it's going to come through on the audio. But I had to put them outside the door because they kept meowing, and it would have been really annoying for everybody. Even more so than me.
Yeah, I mean, there's people out there that love cats.
It would and
look cute little kittens.
I mean, they're adorable, but they have a very high pitch meow, and yeah, it's cute a couple times, but after 10, not even 10 straight minutes, like 2 straight minutes of it, it's not that cute anymore.
Yeah, no, so. I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, we've been playing Echoes of Wisdom too. That game is so far it's really good. I'm enjoying it.
It is really good. How far are you?
I would say so. I've done the Zora dungeon, and I am in the Gerudo dungeon right now.
How do you go into a dungeon and don't complete it? That's weird.
Time, man. No.
You
I
make
think
time.
that
You
I
make
think
time to be.
okay.
It's not that long
Yes.
of a dungeon.
Dude, dungeons can take long.
If you're
Okay,
dumb.
but that I don't know that, right? I don't know if they're gonna be long. So, like, I honestly, I think I
you go
did
into
it.
a
I did it
dungeon,
right.
so you're
I
sitting
did it
there. You're like,
right.
oh, I'm about to go
At
into this
some
dungeon.
point-
About to go in this dungeon. Like, you know, I'll start it, and then I'll do something else. That's weird.
No. That's where you're wrong. I have not started it. I've like entered the
Okay,
dungeon.
that's okay. I understand
Yeah.
that. But if you
Okay.
start a dungeon, like, why would you not do it all the way through? It's not that long. It doesn't take that long.
I agree with you because not only like is it like you think it's going to take too long or whatever, but if you've started the dungeon and then you return to it, you're going to be like, okay, where do I need to go? What have I done already? Because I feel like when you do a dungeon, you have to do it like at that time.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You can't be in the middle of a dungeon and then stop.
No, I totally agree. I just entered the dungeon and I was like, I got to go to bed. I'm not going to start this dungeon because I don't know how long it's going to take. And I know that I'm going to stay up until I beat it. And I just can't do that. So
I'm further than you.
I believe it.
I did both the Zora and Gerudo dungeons. I explored a lot too. Like I explored a lot of the map.
Yeah.
And it's great. I think it's a great game.
There's parts of it where I'm like, I like getting on top of the trees and just kind of seeing where it takes me. And then I fell into a section and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be here yet.
Yeah.
So I
think
found like a waypoint or whatever.
The way it's designed is really well because I think they want you to go on top of the trees and they want you to explore, not just like going in a linear path. Now I do think that it's not as open as Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like there are things that you have to do in order to progress. It's not like Breath of the Wild where you could just kind of go to Hyrule Castle.
Mm-hmm.
But I am really enjoying it. I think the puzzles are pretty good, and I don't believe... So I know they say that there's various ways of solving them, but there's clearly a way they want you to solve them. So...
Yeah. Maybe, so like when they say that, maybe there's just different ways that you can use echoes to get through a dungeon, but you still are going to have to figure out the puzzle itself.
Yeah, because the puzzles, from what I've experienced, aren't really echo related. They're more so of your other powers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I feel like they misled with that one. Because there's not like tons of different ways to solve the puzzle. There's like one or two.
Yeah. But I mean, there are options, so I guess they're not lying.
Yeah, true. I did the Gerudo Desert first, and I think that's probably the harder one. Instead of, I think Zora was the way you were supposed to go because it seemed a lot easier.
Well, maybe. I went to Zora because I just love the Zora domain. And I think you're supposed to go to Gerudo because when it gives you those options, Gerudo is closer than Zora is.
Maybe it just felt harder because I was, I only had like 3 or 4 hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would have felt the same if I went to Zora.
Yeah.
I mean, the game's not hard. The game's not hard at all, though.
No, but I think it's fun. The way that they've the mechanics of the game is really fascinating, and I think I heard you, or maybe it was last week on Nintendo Powercast, that you said that you're probably only going to use like a couple of echoes, and so far I feel like I just use the same ones over and over. Do you have a favorite?
So the bed is always classic.
Yeah.
But I found one in Gerudo. I don't know if it's in the dungeon or if it... I think I found it before the dungeon, but it's like a Thwomp type character.
Yes. Yeah, it's in the ruins, I think.
And I use that a lot to get up on things. Like, I think it's better than the bed. I just got the water block. I think it's better than the water block.
Did you get the flying tile?
I did get the flying tile.
That one's good.
But yeah, I've mostly used the thwomp plus trampoline, and that's like the go-to.
I'll say for combat, my favorite has been like, I forget what it's called, but there's like a flying plant that has like
it's a pea hat.
Pea hat. I mean, that one is pretty OP.
Yeah, that's definitely in the beginning.
Yeah. And then there's a shark. I don't know if you found a shark.
Yeah, I have the shark too. Yeah,
shark is cool.
The shark. I wish I would have found the shark before I did, because there's a little like side dungeon that I found that has an enemy that I really wanted to echo because it seems OP. But it's underwater, and I didn't really have any underwater combat echoes, so I just kept getting wrecked. So I have to go back and get it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Echoes of Wisdom. If anyone is still listening,
last thing.
Yeah,
I got the Hyrule Edition Nintendo Switch Lite sent to me, provided by Nintendo.
Wow,
yeah, big time.
They clearly do not watch your content.
They also sent me a copy of Echoes of Wisdom. So,
maybe they do watch your content and they're like, we can fix this guy.
No, I made a video about saying that I think that this is my favorite Nintendo Switch now. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful system.
Yeah.
And I said, this was provided by Nintendo, so this probably sounds biased. And somebody commented, when do you ever not sound biased? So you're wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, yeah, Echoes of Wisdom is it's a fun game if you're still wondering if you should get it or not. Yeah, it's just very different. And I know Joey DePitz, I'm going to shout him out because this is his first Zelda game and says that he's really enjoying it. So that's awesome. And
he also wants to know what's next.
Yeah, the chat needs to tell him what's next. Like, what's the next game that you play?
Correct answer.
That's so hard though, because you go from like a 2D to
but he said that he wants Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, okay. Like he wants to try them both.
Yeah. Well, he asked if Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom is better to go with, and I think Breath of the Wild is the better choice, and then you can go play Tears of the Kingdom.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, let's see. So it says if I finish Echoes in a week or so, do I get Breath of the Wild or do I get Tears?
I don't know. I say Breath of the Wild. I think if it's something that you're going into for the first time, Breath of the Wild is pretty great. And then Tears is a great game, but it's more of like a bonus after you have played Breath of the Wild. At least that's how I feel. Because you're already used to kind of the way that the game plays. You're used to the map. But Breath of the Wild is just so magical.
Yeah, and I think if that's like your first 3D Zelda, it's gonna ruin like all the other Zeldas for you. But
no, Wind Waker's good.
It will. Well, if we ever get a port of Wind Waker.
You want to do some server maintenance?
Yeah, make sure you leave 5-star reviews on Spotify and Apple. We haven't gotten a new one on Apple since a couple weeks ago, which wasn't technically new. They just wanted to yell at me.
I think that's valid.
I do believe we got a new one on Spotify, and I don't think it was a 5-star review because our little overall rating dropped to 4.9, and it was probably because they were annoyed with what I said. And that's all right. I ain't changing. Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
But follow us on all our socials, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and follow the Nintendo Powercast.
Yeah. Go follow N64Josh and Crawler as well. All right, man. So yeah, I think, maybe you were a little annoying or really annoying. That's what the poll said. Well, you weren't extremely annoying, but you were really annoying. Yes,
I wasn't annoyed at myself.
Okay.
I listened to
Well-
the episode. I'm like, wow, these are some really good points
that Jeeb was making.
that I was making.
I don't
Jeeb
know.
was wrong.
Thanks again, Jeeb.
Jeeb is always
coming
wrong.
onto the show. Another Philadelphian who just needed to put you in your place.
I think I put him in his place. It backfired. His plan backfired.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I don't know. I think I'm probably going to be on the flip side of this conversation for tonight.
Because you're boring.
And no. And also, I need to clarify something. What we're talking about is crossovers.
Is it crossovers? Oh, hold on. Before we have to establish boundaries, because a crossover game is something different than a collaboration. All right. So a crossover, when I think of crossover, I think of like Mario plus Rabbids. Like that's a crossover.
Okay.
A collaboration is like Fortnite having all the collaborations and Super Smash Brothers having collaborations.
Okay, I think we need to go into both of them then. Because if they are different, I think it kind of is the same.
No, it's not. It's different.
Well, okay, but if you're hold on. So my stance originally on crossovers is like I know that you have said on the show before that I don't like crossovers or that I'm boring. I do like a crossover. And in fact, like when I think of crossovers, yes, this is a gaming podcast, I think of TV shows. I think there have been a lot of great like TV episodes that have been crossovers. But that's because like I didn't expect them. They were special. And like if it's done right, then I really enjoy them. But if it's done just for the sake of doing them and because, oh, well, so-and-so just did a crossover, so we should do a crossover, and it's like, I don't know if this really works, then they're not for me. But what I was going to say is like, if I understand what you're saying, like it could be a collaboration. However, you're crossing over, like now the Incredibles are in Fortnite.
That's so hilarious.
They have crossed over. Disney has crossed over
good.
into Epic.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good.
So, but you agree?
What?
You agree that they're crossing over?
Well, it's like a collaboration.
So
like,
what's the difference?
I would say a crossover. If you want to go the Fortnite, if you want to go the Fortnite route, the crossover would be Lego in Fortnite because there's a Lego mode in Fortnite.
Okay.
But
is
when
that
I think
not just a collaboration then?
I don't know. Maybe they are the same, but no. When I think crossover, I think they're both game types are being brought together.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marvel versus Capcom, that was like a crossover.
Okay, but they are also collaborating. Like I guess I don't know what the difference is because when you and I will make a video on Instagram, we can go on and collaborate with each other to put it on each other's pages, right?
I feel like we're getting into semantics.
Well, it's important.
Hold on.
What are you looking up?
Crossover versus collaboration.
Okay. So
okay, here this is actually a good one.
Okay.
It's from Reddit, but I think I get it. It says collaborations are when two creators work together on a product or on a project. Crossovers are when characters from one work of fiction show up in a different, generally pre-established work.
Okay. I get what they're saying. However, like these fictional characters are not just saying, "Hey, we should get together and do this project."
Yeah, but the companies, the IP owners are though.
But they're still talking to each other. That's collaboration.
I mean, this one's called crossover collaboration, so I don't know. Whatever. Okay. The point of the story is Cheesy is boring and doesn't like collaborations because The Incredibles in Fortnite is freaking hilarious. And if you think otherwise, you're wrong.
I think no. So we've talked about Fortnite before. I think Fortnite is the exception because that's just what it is. Like,
Okay, all right. No, it wasn't at first though. It wasn't at first. It was not.
what was?
Like, I mean, they didn't have all these collaborations before.
No, I know. What was the first one
Oh God, I don't know.
in Fortnite?
I don't know. It's been
Because
No
then
way to
they've
know.
also have like collaborated with artists. I know Christopher Nolan had, was it in or not Inception? They had some movie in Fortnite. Do you remember what that was?
yeah. What?
There was a like a movie. They showed a movie in the.
Oh yeah, they showed Star Wars.
Oh, was it Star Wars?
There was
I
a
don't know
scene
where I
from
got
Star
Christopher
Wars.
Nolan from. Okay.
So apparently it says the first official collaboration occurred in Search for Survivors event in Fortnite Save the World. And the first collaboration, I don't know what that means. Why is this so hard to find?
I would just think that it was
Oh,
like
okay. It looks like the first one was Marvel.
okay.
And that wasn't until season 4. So that it was out for like almost a year before they did their first collaboration. And now it is a bunch of collaborations, and it's awesome. I think it's really cool. I think it's hilarious that they have Elastigirl, and they have Mr. Incredible, and they have Frozone. Like, did you see somebody recreate it? Frozone's like entrance in one of the Incredible movies?
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
It's so good. All right, so let's get away from Fortnite because I think they do it really well. What about like Astrobot? Where
So
all the bots.
Yeah, I think Astrobot is a great example of a crossover or a collaboration that works really well. And the reason I say that is because I think it's a celebration of Sony's IPs. And it doesn't feel like it's something that they were just like, oh, let's throw this in there for nostalgia's sake. It really feels like
Except they kind of did.
Well, and I haven't played it, so I can't say, but just from watching the trailers, watching people's reactions, like, it seems like they really cared about this project and wanted to celebrate Sony. Is that wrong to say?
No, that's right. I agree.
So what were you saying? Like, it?
No, I do think it relied heavily on nostalgia. When you find a bot and you're like, oh, that's Sly Cooper. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Sly Cooper is a bot.
That's pretty cool. But like, what I'm saying is like, it made sense for them to be there.
Yes, because that game is like a celebration of Sony. But like, what is a collaboration that doesn't work?
Okay. I think Smash works. Smash is a celebration of just gaming. Do I like Smash the way that others do? No, I've kind of have like fallen off. I think it's a fun game, but I'm not like super invested in it. I love when they do the trailer or the character announcements because those trailers are amazing and it just feels like an event, and you just want to know who is the next character that's going to be invited to Smash. So I love that they're doing that. The idea of like Nintendo Kart, I don't need it. If it happens, fine. There's not anything I can do about it. I can't just be like, I can't be standing up and being like, oh, I don't want it. I can't be like in front of their headquarters and say like, no, this is a dumb idea. Like if it happens, it happens. And like, honestly, we're already kind of there. We have Link, we have Isabelle, we have Villager.
We're not already.
We
have like three characters that are not Mario characters.
So, okay, but are you saying that they're not going to go in that direction?
No, I think they definitely are, and they should.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you look at the roster of Mario Kart, it kind of sucks. There's, you have your standard Mario, Luigi, Waluigi. Mm-hmm. Like, all the main characters are fun, but then you have 8 Koopalings. Like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
You have
I'll say I like the Koopalings more than I like the babies.
how many babies are there? There's like 8 babies.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There's a ton of babies. Then you have Pink Gold Peach. You have Metal Mario. Like
Tanuki.
The other Tanuki Mario, which I don't understand why they can't just be
Costumes.
Yeah, which they might do that anyway, because I think in that Mario Kart Live they had like costumes.
Was that in live? I know that they have it in the.
Well, they have it in tour, but they definitely haven't. I'm pretty sure they have it in live too. Okay. I remember there's like a pirate outfit. But tour has a bunch of characters that, well, maybe they don't have a bunch of characters that aren't in Mario Kart now. I think every character is in Mario Kart 8.
They had Donkey Kong Jr.
Oh, like maybe
the
like
pixelated version.
They had Bob-omb, I think. King Bob-omb.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then like Pauline, but now Pauline is in Mario Kart 8.
But we've had there's been how many Mario Karts now? I guess 9. 10. 9 with tour?
9, because the next one is going to be 10.
So, and they've all been Mario characters, with the exception of some non-Mario characters. And I think the non-Mario characters open it up for something really cool with the courses, because the Hyrule course is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Animal Crossing course. I love the F-Zero courses. Sad that we didn't get Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
As a racer. But the crossover courses are awesome.
So, okay, I agree with you. Like, I do think that part of Mario Kart 8 is great. When it comes to, like, if it happens, which I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, like, it probably will be fun. I just don't want every game after that to be like a Nintendo.
I mean, it would be 2 games that have that. It would be Smash. And
we don't know
Mario
that. We
Kart.
don't know that. That's what I'm saying. Is like,
but I would love that.
If it works so well, and the sales work really well, then every game is going to be the exact same. That's not fun. That's boring.
It's boring to not have that. To just have another entry in the series, like, that's boring.
I mean, I'm not just talking about Mario Kart. I'm just saying, like, if they have other things, then yeah, it's to be expected. Then it's not a surprise. It's not fun.
But it is a surprise because you don't know what characters they're going to add.
I mean, I guess, but like, then isn't that kind of taking away from Smash?
All right, so Fortnite has been top dog for like 8 years.
Yeah.
It clearly works.
Okay, Nintendo's not going to put like The Incredibles and Marvel.
Well, no. But they could do. I wish they did the Metroid Star Fox
works
crossover.
So well, though.
But I mean, Smash, best-selling fighting game ever.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart should, like, if they really want, they should have used it as like an advertising platform. Like, how many people do you think bought Splatoon because Inklings were in Mario Kart or in Smash Brothers?
I will say I did both. I mean, I bought Smash because I was going to buy Smash, but Mario Kart 8, yeah, I already owned it on the Wii U. But you got double items, you got battle mode, and then you also have the Inklings in there. Like, yeah, you got me.
And you're telling me in Animal Crossing pre-New Horizons, because for some reason they didn't really do it. Well, I guess they had some Mario collaborations, but in New Leaf, they had so many items from other Nintendo properties. Like, that was so cool. That was so cool. Where you could just have a bunch of things in your house.
Yeah,
like, that's
I
awesome.
wish that they would have done that in New Horizons.
Exactly!
Well, but that's not like characters. It's not playing. That's just like little collectibles.
It's still a collaboration. It's still the same concept.
It's not though. Like, that doesn't change the gameplay.
Neither does having a racer in Mario Kart, because there's just 3 different classes. It's heavyweight, medium weight, and standard, whatever they call it. Like, it's just a weight class. It's not.
Okay, but do you see what I'm saying? Is like if we start to have every Nintendo character in every Nintendo game.
Yes, give me more. Like Nintendo items in Splatoon. What are they doing? Why don't we have crossover items?
Like what?
Like a mushroom
because
hat.
there is some Nintendo history in Splatoon.
Well, yeah, they have the NZAP, and the Super Scope, which are my favorite weapons. They're so good. It's so good. And like, you don't have to put characters in other games to be a collaboration. Like, you could just put, like, Splatoon is just sitting there with a bunch of equipment that they could put in there. Like Toad hats, Peach dresses, Peach crown, even like Mario and Luigi overalls, Donkey Kong tie. Like, they could do so many things.
And I'm trying not to get back onto lore, because I know that is a subject that you don't want to hear.
So how does the NZAP fall into that lore, huh? How does the NZAP fall into that lore? It's a real world item.
Well, yeah, it takes place in the real world.
But then they could have if it's the real world, then they could have items from Nintendo.
I guess you're right. What I'm saying though is it's nice when things can just be their own thing.
It's not breaking anything. It's just items. We're not breaking anything.
No, I know. It's just
to not have the same thing with, we have Mario Party coming out here in 3 weeks. There's a mode with 20 characters, and they could easily put non-Mario characters in there.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
Which
want
would be
every
awesome.
game. I don't want that.
Because it's another thing where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The characters have no distinct abilities that make them any different from other characters. It's just a palette swap.
Aren't you okay? I know we talk about the MCU a lot. Have you gotten tired of the MCU, or like have you expected things from the MCU?
And
to be honest, I haven't even started.
The problem here's the problem with your thought process. The problem with the MCU is the crossovers are the part of the story, but like for video games, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you put it like, how does adding Cloud to Super Smash Brothers affect anything else? It doesn't. But like, if you have Robert Downey Jr., which I'm assuming is going to be a different, like a multiverse version of Tony Stark,
probably,
and you have the story revolve around that, then yeah, I don't think it works, and it gets old. But to just have, like, I still love when characters just show up. I'm like, they're just like in the background, and I'm like, oh, I get that. You know, the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I love it. I love it. That's a reference. I get it. I'm not saying they should change like all the Mario games to actually be some like crossover Kirby Pikmin thing, but to have little.
So you're saying like the party games?
Yeah, the party games.
The party games should just have all the characters
and the fighting games
that you can think of.
Yes.
Fighting games does kind of change the gameplay a little bit. Like, I can understand what you're saying about Mario Party. Like, they're going into mini games and it's probably all the same controls. Smash Brothers is not all the same controls.
But Smash Brothers works though, so it's fun. So, I mean, Mario Party has never had like special abilities for each. At least I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. There's been like 20 plus Mario parties or something, but they don't. There's no like. I know Mario Kart Double Dash. They had specials, but they don't do that anymore. So it's just a palette swap. That's all they are. If they're, they say, okay, this is a heavy class, this is a medium class, this is a lightweight.
Okay, so then is that exciting for that? Like, what makes Smash fun is that they have their own move set. Would it be exciting if all characters in like Mario Party or Mario Kart are the same?
Yes.
Or do you need to have them be different?
No, I don't need them to be different. I just like playing as characters from other series. It's just fun. It's just fun. I thought it was so goofy that they put Mercedes in there. That's so funny.
Yeah, it is very goofy. Yeah.
That's what you want games to be fun? Just do that.
I want games to be fun. I don't want everything to be like Ready Player One.
Oh, why not?
I love that movie. Ready Player One.
I love that movie. I'd be like, oh, there's Spartans. Oh, there's the Iron Giant.
Yeah.
There's Godzilla. Oh my God, that's awesome. That's honestly, awesome. That's so fun.
How much of that movie do you remember versus just like
I watch it like I watch it all the time.
I felt like I was just distracted the whole time.
I love that movie. I love it. I think it's not realistic that it took somebody 5 years to drive backwards. But other than that, I mean, none of it's realistic. It's But I mean that we are kind of seeing that with Fortnite now that they had these different modes with the rocket racing and the Lego Fortnite. I just love it. I don't know. It's so fun. It's just so fun when you like now Lego collaborates with Nintendo, and when they like announce a new collaboration set, like I'm so excited. And then
okay. Answer me this. Are you okay with just like a Mario game being a Mario game or a Zelda just being a Zelda game or Pikmin just being a Pikmin game? Because like I don't.
Pikmin has collaborations.
Well, they used to.
They still do. Really I mean, they have like Nintendo related ones.
I guess that's true.
They have like you find a Game Boys and Famicoms. Like, you find stuff in that world, and that's fun, right? That's fun when you find that stuff. You're like, oh, that's awesome. That's fun.
Yeah. But again,
no, like, it doesn't need to change the story. Like, I don't want
like a Mario and Xenoblade or something.
That would actually be. Hold on.
No, don't say it.
No. So Capcom does this all the time with Monster Hunter. They do collaborations with. And I forget if it was Rise. One of them did a Xenoblade collaboration. And I get hyped for that stuff. When I see collaborations, I get hyped.
Yeah. Oh, good. Sorry. The Lions won. That was my team this week. So
did my fantasy win? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
Nah.
Your Eagles didn't win. Your Eagles, man.
Do they suck? Fire Sirianni.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like, it's not that I don't want them. I just don't want it to become a reoccurring thing. Like, when I think of crossovers, I think of, like, the Flintstones crossing over with the Jetsons. That is amazing. One is prehistoric, one's in the future, and like they got to meet each other, and that was probably a hype event. Like, if you think about what Twitter would have been like back then.
I don't want to think about it.
That's fair, actually. That's really fair. Nobody wants to think of Twitter. But I'm just saying, like, the hype around that kind of episode.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about Nintendo going too crazy with it, because they release one Mario game every 15 years or whatever.
True. Yeah, it's fine.
But I mean, they've done it with Zelda. Has had Mario enemies in it.
Yeah,
and that doesn't. Yeah, there's like Chain Chomps.
Yeah, Link's Awakening. Yeah.
So it's.
I think it's a nice surprise when it happens, but like it has to be done right. There is a correct way to do it, you know? And I just think that like if you get too carried away, it becomes annoying, or it's like, okay, we get it. Like I know I'm bringing up movies and TV a lot, but Space Jam New Legacy, did you watch that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the collaborations were the issue with that movie.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I do think it became annoying that's like Warner Brothers is just showing every IP that they own. And
I think the original Space Jam was like that too.
What do you mean?
Like, I think it was just a bunch of product placement.
I don't think so. It was just Looney Tunes. I mean,
I guess that's
like
a crossover. Looney Tunes and the NBA.
Well, yeah,
it worked. It was awesome.
It's wacky. Yeah, it's silly.
I mean, I don't think Nintendo is gonna all of a sudden make all of their games crossovers. I mean, they might have, you know, Mario the kart game being that a lot of Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
but their main line like Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Pikmin, Metroid, those games wouldn't have it. I do think it helps. Like what they should have done with ARMS was they should have had some type of collaboration with other Nintendo IP, because that would have driven more traffic to it.
How do you do that? Like, what would it have been? What do you mean?
It doesn't matter. It's a video game. Doesn't matter.
Well, it matters within ARMS because of like you can't just put in another character, like another Nintendo character, and put them in ARMS.
Yeah, you can. They just have wacky arms. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
But that's
that's
not
matter.
The character design.
But it would be fun, and people would be like, "Oh, people will talk about that game." I mean, they had a Pokemon fighting Tekken game. That was awesome.
How come we haven't gotten another one of those?
I don't know, because they probably...
I think that people would be like clamoring for that.
I don't think it did as well. I don't think it did that well. But I mean, they released the deluxe version on Switch.
Yeah. Maybe it's not so much that I'm like worried about Nintendo. I mean, I do worry about that, but like it's more so of just how successful Fortnite has become. And like, again, Fortnite is its own thing, and I think what they do over there is incredible. Like they keep it interesting. I just don't want someone or more companies to be like, oh, well, Fortnite's doing it, so we should do it.
I mean, a lot of the free-to-play ones are.
I know. And like, you don't think that's a problem?
No, I really
They're not doing well. So like,
well, that's on them. I mean, that's more on them than the collaboration's fault. Like being able to play as a Ninja Turtle in like, I forget what one that had Smite, I think. Like that almost got me into Smite. Overwatch has, I think, some anime skins that are coming out. Those look cool. I mean, I think there's an issue with the free-to-play games as opposed to them having skin collaborations. Like Brawlhalla has a ton.
Yeah, but that's like the indie Smash.
Yeah,
so that kind of makes
but it's sense. But it's not the same thing. Like it's just a skin. Like it's not a new fighter. It's a skin on top of like a current fighter. So they have Kratos, but it's like an actual fighter that just has a Kratos skin.
Kratos is in Brawlhalla?
I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah.
He's not
Kratos
indie.
was in Mortal Kombat. Oh, best collaboration ever. Soul Calibur 2. Link.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
It's so good. Like I want Nintendo. Oh, see, that's where I'm at with this. Nintendo needs to do more collaborations with non-Nintendo games.
Like
they
what?
need to put a skin in Fortnite. I would totally play as Samus in Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean that was supposed to happen.
Yeah. They need to put skins in like Fall Guys. I bought Rocket League on the Switch because of the Mario and Luigi cars, and then there was a Metroid car as well.
I mean, I think that did help. I bought it mostly because I've always wanted to play Rocket League, and then it came out on Switch, and so that for me was a deciding factor. But it was a bonus that you got to play as like the Samus ship and the hat,
and it had the little mushroom sound from the jump.
Oh yeah.
Like that, those are fun, and Nintendo made it not fun because
nobody can see it.
You can't see it if you're playing against somebody on Xbox or on another platform. Nobody can see it. That's so boring. Yeah. I hope they listen to you. They were like, all right, Cheesy doesn't like collaborations, so we're not gonna let anybody have any fun if you want to play with your friends.
I like collaborations. I'm struggling how I feel. And I hope that I'm not the only one that feels this way, where it's like, yeah, I think collaborations are fun and then they can be weird. I mean, one of the biggest collaborations I think that we saw last year, I'm putting it out there, was like Taylor Swift and the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, those two shouldn't go together, but it worked for both sides. And so, like, you just don't know what's going to happen. And I think, like, what you were saying, like, Soul Calibur and Link, that sounds pretty cool. I'm afraid of, like, something being so successful that everybody wants to do that thing. And, like, we've seen that, Like, people just chase the money more than chasing the art of it or the love of it. I guess.
I mean, all the free to play games do it. Like, if you look at Call of Duty, if you look at Warzone, like, they have their collaborations are ridiculous too. They had, I think, Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty, which it's hilarious. I love it, and people don't like it. They're like, go back to old Call of Duty. No, keep it weird.
And now you have like artists that are collaborating with McDonald's and like making a meal.
Yes. And I've bought, I forget what meal it was, but I did buy one of the meals. I don't remember what meal it was.
Was it Megan Thee Stallion?
But all it is marketing. It's just marketing.
I know it is.
And it's fun. It's fun marketing. I'd much rather have that than, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, if we get a Mario Kart, if it's just Mario Kart and they give us a roster of all babies and Koopalings, it's going to be annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely need to change it up.
I mean, I know there are a ton of different, this was the argument about Mario Party and probably Mario Kart. There are a ton of Mario characters that they can put in the games that they just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why isn't Captain Toad in Mario Kart or
I would
Mario
love that,
Party?
but also, wouldn't people get upset that like that is kind of another version of Toad?
Yeah, but it's Captain Toad.
I get that. I'm with you. Like, it's a different.
Why isn't Plessy a driver? They had the Queen Bee
Plessy,
from Mario Galaxy and Mario Kart 7. I thought that was funny.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things they could do. Like, just a chain tromp driving would be funny.
Egad,
yeah. Luigi's Mansion is popular enough now.
Yeah.
The Polterpup.
Sergeant Chuck, I don't think is in Mario Kart.
No, I don't think so. Boom Boom.
Yeah, I've always thought it would be kind of funny if you had like a Paper Mario, just like going down the course, but it's just this little 2D strip that you can't really see.
People want Paper Mario and Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I wanted the Fortnite guy in Smash Brothers.
I kind of thought it was gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen
But
next
like
time, right?
with the Mario Party like Jamboree, it looks fun. It looks great. But like if you look at that roster, it's all the same. I think they only added 2 newcomers, and it was Pauline and Ninji.
It's only 2?
I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
I'm just going to the website.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things that would be cool to see. I don't know if you said this earlier, but like Star Fox and F-Zero crossover.
Yes. I said Metroid because that wasn't that the rumor.
Metroid and Star Fox?
Yeah, Metroid and Star Fox.
I don't remember that. But I mean,
Maybe it
yeah,
was F-Zero and Star Fox. I don't remember.
yeah, because they're both McClouds.
Hold on, I mean, we had the. I can't find the roster.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like there have been fun crossovers that I can think of, like SSX Tricky and Mario, and NBA Street Volume 3 and Mario. There was NBA Hoops, I think is what it's called. NBA, or not NBA, Mario Hoops 3v3 or something, and they added Final Fantasy characters
That's funny.
because it was Square that made the game.
Yeah, I think it's funny when they have these characters from other series that do not belong there. Hold on. All right, so there's 22 playable characters, including newcomers Ninji and Pauline. So there's only 2 new characters.
Yeah.
That, like, there's so many characters in the Mario verse that they could do. Like, why don't they like Diddy Kong anymore? I feel like Diddy Kong's never in a game.
I don't really think you can say Diddy these days. Yeah.
But like this game was developed before that even happened.
Oh. Diddy. That's someone that we need to look into. Diddy Kong in the Mario universe.
Or Dixie Kong.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Cranky Kong. Or Lanky
just need
Kong.
More Kongs.
Or all the Kongs. What's annoying with
Did you say Swanky?
Lanky.
No, there's Swanky Kong.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Isn't there Baby Kong or
yeah, Kitty Kong.
Kitty Kong. What's
Candy
annoying
Kong.
with some of their like like their Smash Brothers and their like Mario parties and stuff, is they develop them. Well, now I guess it's late, but like they develop them before the newest entry of those games come out, so they don't have like the most updated version. Like Cappy wasn't in like anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was gonna be in like Aces.
Yeah.
Because he's just a little ghost.
They could have done that.
Yeah.
And I know for Mario Kart, didn't they update Link's model to be Breath of the Wild Link?
They did.
Because they added the cycle.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. The lights. I don't know what it's called. I'm not gonna try.
It is weird. All right, so I will say, like, Tears of the Kingdom, what happened to that cycle? Where is it?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean it wasn't part of the ruins.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, he could still be riding around on that thing.
That would have broke the game. I don't even so that came in the DLC.
Take it to the sky? Dude, you could have been like Evil Knievel.
Yeah, they should have had like an upgraded version of it. Or, had DLC.
Yeah.
Or you could get the updated version. Because you didn't get the cycle until DLC anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the very last thing that I did. So it was kind of pointless to have. You're just driving around doing nothing.
Pretty much. Yeah, because you get it at the very end, right?
Yeah, you get at the very end.
How weird.
Dumb. But collaborations are fun.
Yeah.
I can't think of a collaboration where I was like, this sucks.
I mean, for me, I will say it was Space Jam New Legacy.
Yeah, but I think you kind of knew what you were getting into on that one.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be like as good as Space Jam. And I mean, but Space Jam, look, it's great, but it's not like it's amazing.
A kids movie, so you have nostalgia.
It's fun.
You have exactly, collaborations are fun. And that was probably fun for kids these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it had a lot to do with like computer. Was he AI? I forget if he was AI.
Who?
But it was like a computer verse.
Oh, in
the
New Legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets controlled by algorithm.
That's funny.
It's
a kids movie. Yeah. It's a kids movie.
It was a LeBron movie. You don't see a Looney Tune until like 30 minutes in.
That's all right. Yeah, I mean, I watched that. It wasn't a good movie, but I wasn't expecting it to be a good movie. I wasn't like hyped up for it or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mario movie was just a collaboration of all different Mario games.
I don't know if that's a collaboration.
Oh, wait, and there was Punch-Out in there. There's Punch-Out in there. And Kid Icarus. When you saw him playing Kid Icarus, where you're like,
Yeah, I mean, there
exactly.
Yeah, I found.
I don't know how the physics works, where he's playing a Nintendo in the world.
Right. Yeah, but I thought you didn't care about lore.
So I don't.
Why would you? Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
It sounds like you're questioning.
I can't believe you actually like that movie because it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, there's collaborations in that movie, a bunch of references. You're just a party pooper if you don't like them.
No, I don't. I'm trying to figure out the answer to this conversation because like I feel like I'm the type of person who would love a collaboration, and I do, but there is a part of me that is just like I don't want to see it all the time. I don't want to see it all the time. Sometimes it's nice to be surprised when it happens.
We don't see it all the time, though.
It feels like we're seeing it more often than we're not.
Like what? In games, not movies, in games.
But that kind of leads into it.
No, you can't say that we're seeing it more in games and not have references for games. What Nintendo games specifically are we seeing it in?
I guess we're not. I don't know.
We're not. So when we do, it will be awesome. It'll be more fun. But Nintendo doesn't do it. I mean, they did it in Mario Kart, but that came out how many years ago? 7 years ago.
Why don't you think they do it? Because obviously there has to be a reason for them that they stop themselves. You really think that?
You say people like you saying not to do it?
I don't think it's people like me. And maybe you're right. Maybe it is that. Maybe they are boring and that they choose to keep their IP separate.
No, I do think they played it really, really safe in the Switch era with their games.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by safe?
Like everything was pretty, like there's nothing really, no risk. There's not really a risk.
When I think of their early games, I would say that they were a risk because they tried something new. A lot of their games in what they were doing were trying something new.
Like what? Breath of Wild? It's not a Switch game.
Come on.
So Wii U,
It is
no,
a
it was
Switch
it was
It's a
developed for a
Switch
Wii U.
game.
It was developed for the
It's
Wii
a
U.
s-
That doesn't count. That doesn't count as like a risk that they took on the Switch. Doesn't count. Like Mario
okay.
isn't that big of a risk. Like it's a
Mario is. I would say that is a
no,
risk.
it's a Mario game where the mechanic
You
is
didn't
already
have any
taken.
power ups. That's a risk.
But the captures were your power ups. So I don't think that
Right.
was really
That's
a
a-
risk.
You're trying
I
something
would
new.
say flood is more of a risk than that. Way more of a risk.
It's still. I mean, yes, but it still is. You don't know if it's going to land or not.
It's a Mario game. It will.
Mario plus Rabbids. I know that is a collaboration. That was a Ubisoft thing, but like, that was a risk
Yeah, I
that
agree.
they put out.
Did well.
What else came out that year? 2017. A lot.
I mean, Xenoblade 2, ARMS, Splatoon 2, which was just Splatoon 1.
Arms was a risk.
And it didn't work. So they're like, all right, let's not do that.
You don't think we're going to see Arms 2?
Probably not.
I think we will.
But yeah, they're not. I mean, I think I'm just saying they're not taking risks with their. Like they released a port of Mario Kart, and we didn't get anything else for Mario Kart. Like the expansion was just more courses that already existed.
And I guess I can see like why they didn't take as many risks because of the Wii U.
Yeah, so I don't think. I mean, I think they were very safe in the Switch era.
So from you're just saying that you would love to see them bring their Nintendo characters over into other games.
Yes. Please. Because I like other games. I like Fortnite. I want to play Fortnite. Well, no, that's true. I only want to play Zelda and Mario. And Echoes of Wisdom has reiterated that fact because I don't want to play anything else. I don't want to play anything other than Mario and Zelda. Everything else is
so
just
sad.
like
It's so
just
sad.
it's just mediocre. It's just mediocre.
Right.
compared.
So again, don't you think that
A
Nintendo,
crossover would make it better. Will make these games better.
if you had your Mario Zelda crossover,
Yes, if I had Mario in every game and Zelda in every game, it would make everything better. They had the Warrior games; those were crossovers.
crossovers,
They're,
yeah. I was gonna say I think there are more collaborations, but at this
Yeah,
point,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
I
what
don't
the
know.
difference is. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I am alone on this topic. But it is something that I guess as of recent has bothered me, and yeah, maybe it is more so of just like because we see it more in TV shows and movies, and like yeah, it can lead into some good stuff. Like I'm thinking of like All in the Family had uh George Jefferson, and that spun off into the Jeffersons, and it was basically kind of the same show. Like they were both just bigots, but
I mean, I wouldn't call that like a collaboration. I would just say that's a different.
yeah, it was a spinoff. So yeah, that I guess that's different than a crossover.
We get one Mario Kart every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
A collaboration can spice it up.
What do you do with Smash right now?
Nothing, because there's no new content.
No. Next game. What do you do with Smash?
I think you reboot it. Just make it
So what does that mean?
smaller scale, but still have it be like, I think 80 characters is a lot of characters.
It is.
So, well, honestly, what I think what they're going to do is we're going to get a Smash Ultimate or Smash Ultimate Deluxe.
Come on, it's already you're already doing what the deluxe version is supposed to be.
Sakurai said that he's not doing another one, so like it's the next logical thing. They're not getting rid of Smash. They're not getting rid of Smash. They're not getting rid of
Sakurai. Sakurai isn't gonna pass his baby
on to other people. He said it though. So
I don't believe it.
The logical way of doing it, what they should do, what I think they are going to do, is release Smash Ultimate Deluxe in the first year of the Switch 2's launch. I would love, like, if they rebooted the franchise somehow, made it a smaller.
What's the deluxe version of it?
More characters, more stages,
more characters.
Yeah,
you already said 80 is a lot.
It is a lot, but that's what I think they're gonna do. But there's a lot of characters that would be cool to see. Like, we've never seen a Mortal Kombat character in there. We've got, like, having a Sony character, like an actual Sony character, like Kratos, would be really cool.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
I don't think they would go. Do you think that they would go Kratos?
Oh, maybe.
You don't think it would be something like more like Spyro or?
I guess they can do Spyro or Crash, but those aren't Sony. Those aren't.
Yeah,
Sony
you're
IP.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you have Spyro, you have Crash, you have. Yeah, you do anything from Sony. Microsoft's still on the table.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of characters that they could put in there. If they want it to be a true...
I feel like Astrobot
they can put Astrobot in there. A true celebration of gaming, you would just add characters and stages.
And then when they reboot it, you take away some of those characters that were in it, like people that love those characters, and you know, like, how do you win in that situation?
Just tell them to get over it. Who cares? You can only add so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing I could think they could do with the Smash, but I'm also dumb. I don't know what the next iteration could be, but I would think they would reboot it under a different developer.
Really?
Or have Bandai Namco do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sakurai has like a protege or something. Somebody that's studying under him.
Maybe. It just seems like the way that he cares so much about that series, and yeah, it had his probably not been well for his health, but I think he also kind of does it to himself, to where he's like, no, I need to work on this. It's not going to be the same if I'm not working on it.
Well, we know Smash is not going away. There's no way they can get rid of it.
Yeah.
It will be like it. Smash Ultimate was the best-selling fighting game ever. There's no way they're going to be like, okay, well, Sakurai doesn't want to do it, so we can't do it. There's no way they're going to do that. Just like after Miyamoto is gone, like, they're still going to make Mario games.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even that involved in Mario right now. Like, I think he's kind of like a consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Anuma. Like, these people, you can't live forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't work forever. So they're going to eventually have to pass the baton. Or they just kill all the series and then we don't get Mario or Zelda or Smash Brothers.
They just kill all of the Nintendo IP,
all the IP
and they just
because
start over. That would be like, I mean, I'm not saying I want that, but also the idea of just like, okay, that was this era. We're killing all of that.
Everything.
We're starting over new IP. There's something kind of interesting about that.
Oh, that would be that would not go over well.
No, it wouldn't. No.
But I mean, the only things that I see with crossovers are free-to-play games, and then, you know, some other games have, like, there was that State of Play, and there was a crossover between Nier Automata and Stellar Blade, I think.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah, and then we know Monster Hunter is going to have collaborations, but it doesn't really affect the game. It's just like just skins or
yeah, I get that it gets like people into something that maybe they weren't even going to try in the first place, but now you added one of their favorite things into a game. Maybe they'll give it a chance. So I get it.
Yeah. Speaking of collaborations, the new Super Mario Lego comes out tonight or tomorrow. It's the Yoshi.
Which one?
It's the Yoshi, the pixel art Yoshi one.
Oh yeah, that one actually looks pretty cool.
It is cool. The tongue light comes out. All the Mario Lego sets have been awesome, and even the Zelda set is really cool.
Yeah,
I do think it's overpriced. They essentially charge per piece, and there's like 3,000 pieces. But I finished building it, and I have like a couple hundred pieces left over.
So I think we're probably at time, but you brought up a really interesting point of like, you think that it costs too much. And that's because you're crossing over two different like IPs. And maybe that's something that annoys me that I'm just learning about myself, is like when you do have these collaborations, but you need to pay extra because so-and-so is in the game, it feels kind of slimy in that sense. But if it's something that you enjoy, then I guess
But what game does that though?
Who does that?
Yeah.
Well, don't you have to, like, if there's a new character or a new pack, like, don't you have to spend extra money on the game that you already bought?
Yo, you're talking about DLC, like Smash Brothers?
I mean, I guess Smash Brothers is not the example I'm thinking of, but
what's the example? Because I'm thinking the game costs 70 or 60 or 70 bucks no matter what. Like, we're not in an era where games just cost more than each other. Like, it's either 60 or 70.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter. And free to play games, like, they're all conditioned to be, $15 to $20 skins. But I don't think that they might have different prices because of the licensing. But yeah, I mean, everything's kind of regulated for video games. So I don't think if there's a certain collaboration in a game, they're not going to charge you an extra amount of money because that's in there. They just have to pay the license fee to the IP owner. I do for Lego. Yeah, I do think that they charge different amounts for different IPs. Like Star Wars and Nintendo are more expensive. Like Fortnite sets come out tomorrow too, and those are actually, I think, a good price for what they are. And I think it's because they own part of Fortnite, or they invested some into Fortnite. So yeah, the licensing fees for sure, but I don't think that makes the game cost more. I can't think of one.
Well, anyway, I think we're at time. I enjoyed this conversation. I don't know who we're going to get on for next week.
We'll have a crossover with Miyamoto.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm sure he's available.
Yeah, he's probably working on the Mario game that's been taking 10 years.
The Mario Zelda game.
Yes. Oh my God, that would be amazing. That's why it's taking so long.
Johnny, where can people find you?
I'm John Ebo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Nintendo Powercast.
You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Nintendo Powercast, CheezyC64, CheezyC64. Johnny, close us out.
Collaborations are the best, and Cheesy's wrong once again.